budgetary allocations in the last 2 years to the local governments. Actually, it is threefold. Ruengo district used to receive 341 million shillings every year, but we now receive 1 billion extra in addition to the 341 million. So we commend them for that bold step. Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair, in the past, we used to have accidents, protection, Mr. Chair, we used to have accidents that were caused by bad roads. The roads were pathetic with many potholes, but Honorable Minister, today, Honorable Chair, we get accidents because of good roads. So there is a shift in the cause of accidents. That's why there must be a shift in policy. We come to you in peace. Article 2, sub-article 1 of the Constitution talks about the supremacy of the Constitution, and we are fully aware that any law under sub-article 2 of the Constitution that is inconsistent with any provision of the Constitution is null and void to the extent of its inconsistency. But we come before you as Parliament under Article 79, sub-article 1 of the Constitution. It grants you as Parliament the power to make laws for the good of order. In the absence of that, we wouldn't come here. There is disorder caused by these regulations, and that's why we are here, honorable members. We appreciate your focus. We appreciate the time you spent. We appreciate the fact that you called members of URGA, and I would like to confirm that URGA is a body that represents all local governments. But when we go back to report, and we report that our input submitted before the Ministry of Works was not incorporated in the regulations, Honorable Chair, all that we can have as a recourse is to run to you such that we can work with our minister to ensure that our input is brought on board. Short of that, we may be declared incompetent as a body that brings together all these local governments. Honorable Chair, many have stated a lot of things, but we know in our roads there is a very big difference between routine road maintenance and road rehabilitation. The first guidelines called on us to do road rehabilitation, but later on we are doing small routine maintenance. And these are very light roads. If we don't have the capacity to manage the traffic on these small roads, we are going to lose them out, and you will be charging us for usage of money. Speaking before a general, you must handle yourself. And Honorable Chair, the Commissioner here attempted to gag our presentation, but you know you have your protection. Mr. Chair, we are aware that there is something financial in these roads.
We are not advocates for the closure of big roads. The main roads that are managed from the center, we can never advocate for their closure. It would amount to
something I wouldn't say here if we really close the main roads. But we have the district urban community access roads. These roads, Mr. Chair and members, their management is within the mandate of the local governments. Mr. Chair, in the presence of the Honorable Minister General, at least I wrote a letter to him 4 years ago.
I asked for calibers. If that letter could be used as a litmus test to confirm how long it takes for the minister to respond,
I would say 4 years would be the time they take to respond. I'm presenting, Mr. Chair, I need your protection. Mr. Chair was expecting to have a feedback that no or yes, we give or we don't give. But in the absence of that, it would take 4 years, to quote my example, what we went through, to receive response. And this would deter what you intend to achieve within these regulations, because you intend to have the safety of Ugandans protected by these regulations. As I conclude, sir, you cannot say if you run very fast along on Sanji and you're caught by those lights, if you're caught again driving so fast in Impiji, you say, no, I was caught by the other traffic lights, and now I have already been caught, so I can't be caught again. Every time you commit an offense, it is an offense that is isolated from the offense you committed a while ago. So if someone, Honorable Minister, if someone drives beyond the speed limit in Impigi and they reach Ruengo and they again drive beyond the speed limit prescribed under the law, that would be a separate offense. You cannot say, I drove faster in Impigi, I'm now in Ruengo, I've already paid. But we need to do it in a harmonized way that is consistent with all laws that are within our Constitution. Mr. Chair, allow me to conclude by requesting you for just 2 or 3 minutes. Just an addition, 1 by the Council, 1 by the SG, as we conclude, Mr. Chair.
SG, can you be brief?
The different acts we legislate and we put in place, but at least for this very one, we have regulations. Now, our input is any gaps that may occur in the regulations, but at least we have the regulations. We have several other laws several other bills that have been passed, they have been assented to, but regulations are taking 2 years plus. But thank you that we have regulations. Honorable Chair, through you, we really hear what you guys are saying. And those of you who have heard me before, Uganda, we have to strengthen decentralization like never before. Though we don't have to take away any mandate of any minister or of any ministry. Now, here is a scenario. As long as you know Uganda, and as long as you know how we have to realistically operate, there is no way the ministry can be in charge of each and every access road in this country. Each and every access road. I'm not talking about the national roads. I'm talking about those roads whereby even a district chairman, for example, one at Wakiso, can never be in charge of all the roads in Kasanji, leave alone the main one from Mpiji, Nakauka, where? No way. That many times you have to rely on the sub-counties, you rely on the town councils to give you information of what takes place as far as maybe the annual or weekly or monthly traffic is concerned. You get some ideas. So, like it or not, Honorable Minister, with due respect, we need to have a certain look into these issues. Where can local governments be aided more to control that traffic that is inevitable? I'm telling you, I'm a resident of Chira. Less this other road that is being worked on, the one of Chiwatule, Chira, Chiwologoma, less than Sasa Road, the main ones and others. But Sino trucks are doing a damage to the population of the country. You control that, you call that engineer, you call everyone that the people concerned, you can't, however much. The villages sit on a daily basis, like on a weekly basis, to find means of how they can control these reckless drivers continuously. They report to the municipality, but now this can be worsening if at all the local governments are even tied more to wait for some months or some days in case they write, and somehow a minister may be caught up, may take some 3 weeks or 2 or 1 month not sitting at the desk. I'm just saying that these regulations are okay, but you may need to first sit somewhere to find these solutions, these other minor elements, whereby by any chance, or maybe by God's grace, or by any making, the minister was unable to sit at his desk for some 3 weeks. Someone in Karamoja or someone waiting in Kalangala has this inaccess road. Something is happening, needed the urgent attention of the local government, and one is unable to proceed. So we need now those inner details such that at least something is done, not taking away the powers of the minister, but the local governments are able to act as probably they fully await the minister's intervention or ministry's intervention, that no, this is not acceptable, something like that. I just pray that we can now look at how to harmonize, especially some details. Chair, can I be protected? So, so basically, as I summarize, being that I'm the shadow minister, for local governments. I don't want to see more scenarios happening. I've told you I'm a resident of Chira. I'm seeing what is happening, and this is the power. They're asking a little from the minister and the ministry so that we can have things going, but not at any time taking away the delegated powers of the minister by parliament. I want to appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much. Because for her, she's a local government minister. She had a...
I am always wondering, why is it that you fail to put discipline on the roads of Uganda? Especially for us who dwell in town, in the morning you see even ministers driving on pavements. It's a one-way, the border is passing here. You try to drive this side, then you find there is a chief justice or a judge going also. Then you see a police officer is also driving on this side. You always with us, Honorable Minister. But this has led to loss of many lives.
Members, I want to guide this meeting. As a forum, we intend to invite the minister and the department to answer those issues. But for today, let's have the Uruga issues raised.
Yeah, it is related.
And so forth. Now, in this presentation, the presentation from Uruga and the response from Ministry of Works, it's like these two can work together. It's outright that and they have been working together. Only that they needed either one. I think Uruga, you have benefited out of this. The minister is saying, along the Duka, you have full authority. The Duka roads, you have full authority to make sure that you save our people down there, to identify those areas where there are issues. He is only concerned that it must cause sanity, like as he presented those inconveniences that may arise. That's the concern of the ministry. Honourable members, it's now the honourable members also to say something and guide the Uruga, but as you present your issues, this forum is to bring and to see that all these people work together and we save our people, our country. I will start with seniority is very important.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, to recognize that. Yeah, thank you, Uruga and the Honourable Minister, for the submission and the responses. Now, on the sharing mandate, Honourable Minister, like some of us, I have a road. It is called the Simukona, Bulejeni, Kaserem, and it goes up. It's up the hill. I don't know whether
the district almost every week we bury because the roads are now good.
so good,
and the borders they just fly. Not anywhere. It's all over. But this has opened up the discussion going forward. I believe is now the leading agency, Honourable Minister, now that the concerns have reached.
yes, sir.
With Commissioner Kashabi, is good at creating a rapport. It doesn't do anything. Conflict and stress. Now that we have the laws,
And regulations.
let's hear from the Minister and we close this.
Very much, Chair. First of all, I want to thank you for taking us through this, for the patience and the patience of the members of Parliament, knowing what the time is now in the constituencies. But of course, again, these Duka roads are also giving you a lot of sleepless nights as members of Parliament, because the voters don't know the difference. Once they see you, they want a road, whether you are concerned or not. Honourable Chair, this matter, I can't say it's concluded. I think we shall have another discussion with the Uruga team, and then we see where are the meeting points, without necessarily going back to TICO the Constitution or even some of the laws which we think are relevant. But I can understand their concern because, as you say, we are local. I know that these people have been complaining. Sino trucks come and load sand from their districts. I don't know whether they pay for the sand. They load and overload, and then when they have just fixed it, especially these small culverts, 600 millimeters, they can't survive a loaded Sino truck. So there's a matter of concern, really, and I can appreciate where they're coming from. Because recently I was in Chegegwa on a road safety, and one of the issues which were raised again by a local leader, LC5 chairman, he was pointing about schools and hospitals which are along the road, and was asking, can we put humps? Can we put some traffic control measures? Of course, I told him, yes, that you can go back and make an ordinance, but I was just trying to find a way of an escape route. But really, as you have said, even the president has said he doesn't need and he doesn't want to see any more humps on the road, especially the highways, because he was asking, what's the relevance of you making a good road, and then you deny me to enjoy the speed on the road. But the problem is that our people don't read the road. The road talks to them, but they don't talk to the road.
They don't respect it.
They don't respect it. When the road says go 50 kilometers, people are cruising 90. That's the problem. So and many times you find, for example, in trading centers, that's why we came up with these zones, the restricted zones, and we will start implementing. We are going to launch in Fort Portal, I think. Fort Portal and Guru, and even on the main road where there's Janan schools, the concentration of schools somewhere. We are going to launch that, and we see how it works, because at least we put some restrictions on those areas where you have children, you have people going to hospital. Because of our indiscipline, people don't respect even a patient crossing the road to the hospital. So this is the challenge, but again, I will invite you that we'll have the discussions further to see how it goes. So let me just inform the honorable member who was talking about the traffic lights. What you see in Kampala now is development, and eventually which will be answering to your question, because we have the control system under the JICA project, working with the KCCA, and that's why you see all these roundabouts are being improved, the traffic lights. But yes, right, there's still a challenge when you find, for example, in the morning, when the traffic is possibly coming from one direction, and the police officer, using his intelligence, makes that traffic possibly move faster than the other. But once this control center is made, and these lights are going to be smart lights, which can detect that there's more traffic on this side than on the other side, hoping that Ugandans will also become smart as the smart lights. But when you have the borders, that's for another day, Chair. I think we need to have a full discussion on borders, because when we tried, the mayor, local government again, the mayor came and said, this is my city. I know how to organize my city. Don't organize my borders. I said, hands off. I said the regulations I couldn't enforce. So that's another matter which I think as a country we may need to discuss and see how to regulate. But other than your chair, with my team, I think we are open to further engagement with the Uruga, and we see where we have a meeting, because they're serving the same society, the same country, the same people, right? Yes. Of the market. Actually, sir, thank you. It's part. It should be part. Yeah. Yeah. Honorable member, I think this one actually is not only in your area. If you have been driving on these roads, this has been one of my biggest complaints. People think they have to trade in the road, not even beside the road, in the road. So you find even where we have made walkways for pedestrians, pedestrians can't walk. So recently I was tasking the people of Mukono. I said, how can we have markets in the road everywhere. The other DC said, I can't enforce. I talked to the chairman, LC5, he fears now to touch the people because it's about campaign time. So it's a big, big problem. And worse still, they trade on the roads and they leave them dirty. Dirty. I don't even know how whether they are, sometimes you ask her, there are local people like LOC 1, 2, 3 there. Why can't somebody sweep even where he's going to work from before he starts work? But you find somebody selling gonja in filth, and people are okay. I think there is something we need to do. Maybe local governments should also come up with some bylaws in terms of about protecting the. But now I've got a unit after the amalgamation. There's going to be a division of road protection. So if you see them enforcing this, please, because the others we can't continue. You find on the drainage, people put wooden platforms and they're trading on the platforms. So this division will be enforcing the clearing of these roads, people trading on the roads, and I hope that will help too. Others, thank you very much, sir.
Are made for the local people. And any law can only be successful if you have the support of the local people. Otherwise, we don't make laws for these boardrooms and what have you. Chair, I feel concerned. If the local people who are represented by the local leaders under their leadership into Wulga can bring in the suggestions from the rural people, and their suggestions are not considered, and you are making a law, and you expect these local leaders to assist you in implementing that law. Chair, I feel a lot of unfairness in that, sincerely. So, you want to tell me that what these people presented to you didn't carry sense, and it's you who don't represent his message?
Okay. Let's be polite and okay, go on. But I think you restrain yourself from.
So why should I delete from my statement? I seek your guidance.
My guidance is that these people have presented. You had them. Both they have responded and they are a rejoinder.
No, I'm reading failure to consider local government submissions. That's what I'm reading here.
I think that's the first thing they clarified.
And then the clarification I got, you can consider me wrong. But that's what I'm reading from here, and that's what the minister said. So way forward, let us count sense in the people we want to implement the laws we are passing. Otherwise, we are not passing these laws for the boardrooms, we are not passing these laws for the ministry, we are making laws for the local people, and we need their input into the implementation. Secondly, Chair, when roads are being made, we always divert traffic. That this road is being made and then we are diverting traffic to another road. And some roads are designed to carry different traffic. Honorable Minister knows it very well because he's well conversant with Mukono. When they were making Ginger Highway, they diverted all the traffic to Buyikwe Katosi Road in Nyenga. And the road is spoiled now because it was not designed to carry that traffic. So, Honorable Minister, I think either within the law or within the policy or within any regulation, is there a way you can fix that so that when a certain road is being made, at least the other road where traffic is being diverted is also put into consideration? Otherwise, when this project is done, or rehabilitation, the other road is not put into consideration. Thank you very much, Chair.
Okay, my neighbor is on mic.
The works issued guidelines to regulate speed limits for district, urban, community and access roads. And we met the minister, we met the the Ministry of Works. We submitted our reservations to the same, but our reservations as Uruga were not considered in the final regulations that were issued by the Minister. So we appealed to the Forum on Road Safety to come to our rescue, to make sure that the Minister is called to order, such that some of these regulations can be recalled and then we rediscuss them and they are sent again. But key amongst them is the management of speeds in our community access roads. If you say you must write to the Minister to give you guidance and authorization to manage speeds in our small village roads, it will be so bureaucratic and it won't help to solve the accidents that happen on a daily basis. The Minister is too far from our community roads. We have appealed to them to allow us as local governments at lower local level to make sure that our safety committees are in place, and we are given that mandate to go ahead and manage the speeds in our small community roads. Short of that, this will be a good law on paper, but it will not be implemented, and what it is intended to cure, which are accidents, they will continue in our villages, and we shall be offering no solutions to our people.
Thank you.
On Sino trucks?
On Sino trucks.
We invest too much to renovate this road, so yeah, these Sino trucks move good.
The concern is that we have heavy trucks that carry sand, they carry minerals from our areas. They are too heavy. The quality of the roads we make in local governments are made under an arrangement called routine road maintenance, not road rehabilitation. So these roads are supposed to last almost for just 2-3 seasons. But when these heavy Sino trucks carrying heavy materials, stones, sand, use them, they break our culverts, they destroy our roads, and we don't collect any revenue from these big vehicles. And the ministry barred, they are called, they barred us from putting in place any measures to collect funds. Yet for them, they collect funds on these major roads. As these trucks spoil our roads, they should allow the local government to also collect a small levy from these trucks, such that we can maintain these roads without necessarily appealing to the ministry for more funds to make our roads better.
It's their concern is my concern. Their concern is my concern. While the Sino trucks are helping me in the construction of the national roads and many roads, but they're also very destructive, especially in the countryside. Where, on most of the roads where these Sino trucks ply, you find that when you find they have fixed a small culvert, for example 600 millimeter, if a Sino truck is loaded and passes over that culvert, it will not survive, it will break. So the Sino trucks have their, I don't know, but they are working with the MPs. Maybe we shall find a solution on, because they're what we would call a necessary nuisance, because we need them to on construction of the roads and other infrastructure, but at the same time they are also destructive.
You said you can't help much. They want you to.
The law, I can't amend the law because it's not allowed. First of all, what they are asking for is authority to do traffic management on the district, urban and community access roads in their districts. But the law does not allow me to delegate that responsibility. So the only way it can be done is for us to go back to Parliament and change the law. Otherwise, before the law is changed, my hands are tied. I can't delegate that responsibility.
Talked about collecting fines from some of those traffic offenders.
Yeah, that's part of what they want. When they say managing the district, urban and community access roads, that's part of it. That if somebody is over speeding, if he has been over speeding on the national road and then is fined 50,000, when he goes on a district, urban, community road and is over speeding, that local government should be able to charge him the 50,000. That's what they are looking at.
Thank you.
Si mirimu gye beekolera, babadde ekiriwo kibadde nti twateeka amateeka aga traffic regulations omwali ne speed limit, tukkirizibwa kuvuga speed kuvaano bwetyo era nga kuliko ne fines. Kaakati bo kye bagamba nti kaakati amateeka ago bo basobole okuga implementinga mu local government. Kati katugambe ovudde Kasawo oba obadde ovuga bubi e Kasawo luguudo lw'e Kasawo olwa district leka district ekubwe fine esigale mu district kati waliwo nga ne issue ya Sino trucks zino ezoonoona enguudo kubanga buli wogenda mu local government bacomplaininga nsonga eyo zeetikka omusenyu akaguudo baba bakakakola mbawadde ssente bakoze akaguudo bataddemu calvert Sino truck nejja nekamenya naye genda bugenzi ati nga byebyo byebaagala balabe nga balina engeri gye basobola okukwasa amateeka mu local government zaabwe ku district and urban community access roads nga basobola okukwasa amateeka ga traffic naye etteeka linsiba nga minisita telinzikiriza ku delegatinga buyinza obwo eririwo kati ate nga bagamba tuyinza kukola tteeka erikontana n'etteeka eririwo eryayisibwa parliament oba constitution akati ekyo kye basaba bwe kinaaba nga kirina okusoboka tulina okuddayo mu paramenti n'ekyusa etteeka eryo era Traffic and Road Safety Act.
Ensonga zaffe nga Uluga kwe kuba nti Ministerial Works yayisa ebiragiro mu kuteekateeka speed ezivugibwa ku nguudo zaffe ez'omu byalo negamba nti okusobola okuteekateeka humps ku makubo ago agafu ag'omu byalo wamu n'aga Uganda yonna nti olina okusooka okufuna olukusa okuva ewa Minister wa Works osobole okuteekateeka transport. Edda twafunanga accidents nga ziva ku nguudo mbi ezaabeerangamu ebinnya naye kati tukoze enguudo nnyingi ennungi mu bitundu byaffe abantu badduka emisinde mingi ku booda ne taxi kati accidents nyingi okuwandiikira Minister e Kampala akuwa olukusa nze lunakoma okumuwandiikira General Katumba kitutte emyaka 4 nga tatuddangamu twali tusaba humps ennene ezisinga ze tukozesa ku district tuziteeke mu bisaalu ebinene takuddamu kirabika workload ennene kyetumusaba nga Honorable Minister kwe kuba nti obuyinza obumu mu regulations zino bwe yeesigalizza abuwa local governments zaffe eri wansi ne tubeera nga twebuuza ku ssentebe LC3 council zaffe eza Gombola council zaffe district ne tumanya wa aweetaaga humps mu byalo byaffe wawo seetaaga naye obuyinza ku nguudo ennene zino zi major highways n'enguudo eza UNRA ezo ministry yandisigazza n'eziri ezaffe ez'omu kyalo waakiri bandituwabudde mbu temusosa speed eno naye ne tuba nga tulina obuyinza obutandikirwako mu councils okutereeza ebidduka n'engeri gye biddukamu ku nguudo zaffe n'ebimotoka bino ebinene bi Sino trucks tubyagala bijje bitujjeko ebyamaguzi bitwale omusenyu gwaffe bijjeyo ebyamaguzi ebiriyo nga bino eby'omu ttaka n'ebimotoka bino bimenya enguudo zaffe ate tebisasula ssente zizaawo nguudo ate enkola gye tukolamu enguudo tukola road maintenance kutereezaako butereeza tetukola road rehabilitation tuluddemu buto tulusitule buto kati ebimotoka bino ebinene bi Sino truck twetaaga amateeka aganyweza engeri gye biddukamu n'ebikola mu nguudo zaffe ez'omu byalo tusobole okusigaza enguudo ennyingi ze tukoze mu kiseera kino. Kituufu nti ministry eteekateeka okutandika okukozesa regulations zino okuŋŋaanya omusolo emisolo zino ng'egikuŋŋaanya mu nguudo eziri main wamu n'enguudo zonna eziri mu byalo naye tulina gavumenti ez'ebitundu tulina obwetaavu obw'owansi nga bwetaavu okukolebwako eyo wansi kati akaguudo kadduka district urban community access road kali eyo mu kyalo ogenda osolooza omusolo eyo mu kyalo ogutwala e Kampala kyokka nga ebizibu birina okukolebwako biri eyo mu kyalo fenne enguudo eziri mu town council n'emisolo egiva mu town council situgikwatako n'emisolo egiva ku magombolola nagyo ekitunutunu kiri nkisigale ku magombolola okola ku bizibu by'amagombolola kati ministry bw'ekola enteekateeka eno nejjawo obuyinza bwonna obwandibadde mu gavumenti z'ebitundu kitegeeza nti ne revenues emisolo gye bagenda okujja ku nguudo zonna bagenda gitwala Kampala kiba kyongera okunafuya local government spirit y'etteeka local government act baba baginafuyizza tuba situgenda mu maaso tuba tudde emabega ate ffe ng'ekitongole kya Uluga twandyagadde okunyweza bye tufunye n'okwongera okutereeza so okwongera okufiirwa nga tuddayo mu decentralization ey'obuvunaanyizibwa n'obuyinza obwali decentralized.
Olwaleero kibaddewo olukiiko lw'embadde nkyeyalinga lukwatagana ne Uluga nga balina okwemulugunya nti batuuka mu ngeri ya enguudo zaabwe teriko obubenje bungi nnyo basaba nti nabo ministry baweeko obuyinza obulala basobole okwerwanako mu local government zaabwe nga basobola okuziiza obubenje ku nguudo eza disitulikiti ng'etteeka liragira minisita oba minisitule yeyina okukikola kati local government nazo zigisaba nti zibeere n'obuyinza obwo bitubigayizaamu kivuddeyo kiryale nti minisitule terina mutawaana nakyo naye balina okunoonya enkola gye balina engeri ya okiyisaamu n'olwekyo emitingi yesoose tukyagenda mu maaso n'emitingi endala nyingi nnyo era tusuubira nti minisitule egenda kwejjako obuyinza obumu ba local government zisobole okulaba nti ziziiza obubenje ku makubo gaabwe agali mu disitulikiti gavumenti agatali ga national. Ku Sino tracks Uganda nga parliamentary forum on road safety and water safety tukirabye nti ekintu ekimu ekisinza okuleeta obuzibu ku makubo gaffe ezo emmotoka ze bayita Sino track zikoze obubenje bungi zikola ebintu bingi nnyo nawo tugenda kulaba nga Kenya yakikola tetugenda kubajja mu business naye Kenya yabagaana okugenda mu nguudo zino mwasanjala eza mu byalo kuba ezo enguudo emmotoka ezo nzito nnyo zirina ttaani 40 tezisobola kubeera ku nguudo ng'ezo n'olwekyo tugenda kuleeta ekiteese mu palamenti ya Uganda nga tusaba gavumenti ya Uganda minisita agobe emmotoka ezo ku nguudo eza mu byalo zisigale ku nguudo eza mu bibuga byokka. Etteeka tugenda kusaba mu wiiki nga 2 tugenda kukireeta era eggwanga lisuubire nga tumaze almost naye twagala kusaba sipiika atuwa olunaku eyo motion tugiteeke ku fulo esaba okugoba emmotoka Sino track ezinoonya amakubo gaffe era zireese obubenje obungi nnyo ku makubo gaffe agamu byalo zisigale ku makubo gano ag'amaanyi agakolebwa nga gasobola okukaalinga kapasite gezitula.